Hello everyone, welcome back to Wall Creator. Today I will be turning clay into a model of the Blue-Eyes Ultimate Dragon, which can be assembled with super strong magnets and glow with magical light. And of course, it wouldn't be complete without a super realistic model. Trust me, for anyone curious about sculpting, casting, epoxy resin, or painting, this video will definitely spark your creativity and provide valuable insights for your own projects. So I really hope you enjoy this video and share it with everyone so that my work can reach a wider audience. To start this project, I will sculpt each body part of the Blue-Eyes Ultimate Dragon with clay. But this time, I will not use polymer clay as usual, but the type of clay I use is oil wax clay. This is the main body of the dragon, where the center of all the parts of the head, neck, wings, lower body, legs, and tail are connected. And I will sculpt each part in turn for you to see, then connect them into a complete version. Oil wax clay has completely different properties than polymer clay. The type I am using is monster clay, super hard. It helps to keep the form of the specimen very well. However, it is also not suitable for display or long-term use. Now I'm going to make the wings, but to make sure the structure is sturdy, I'm going to make an aluminium frame for it, then cover it with a layer of foil in preparation for brushing the clay over the entire wing surface. This type of clay has the advantage of being able to change its hardness with temperature. When heated, the clay melts into a liquid state. You can easily pour it onto the metal frame to form the model. When it cools, it is very flexible and easy to shape. You can cut and scrape the details easily. With the texture of the wing membrane smooth and taut like semi-transparent skin. The wing skeleton is slightly raised, with a clear border to distinguish it from the smooth wing membrane. I will wait when the clay is completely cool. It will have very good hardness, and this will be the time when I smooth the surface of the material most easily. You just need to use a little Zippo gasoline to brush on the surface of the detail to be able to smooth and remove excess dirt when scraping the detail. And now I will continue to sculpt the remaining details until it is complete. Then I will assemble it into the ultimate Blue-Eyes Dragon version you have never seen before. For now, enjoy the music and don't change the channel. I will be back in a few minutes. Hello, I'm back. And now that I have all the necessary parts, I'm going to put them together. But to put these parts together, I'm going to need a tool to melt the clay at the direct contact points. This way, the parts will be joined seamlessly and naturally bonded without the need for glue. Now I'll do the same with all the details from bottom to top. I'll attach its legs first so that it can stand on a flat surface. In the same way, I continue to attach the 3 necks and heads to the main body. All 3 necks extend from a common body, winding gracefully, like divine snakes. Next, I will attach the 2 arms to the chest. And finally, the wings spread out on both sides. However, I need some struts to support such a massive body. To continue the work, I will use 3D scanning technology to convert this model into a 3D file and use specialized 3D drawing software ZBrush to create joints and important details before proceeding with 3D printing. Perhaps at this point, many of you will wonder why I didn't draw in 3D from the beginning, but used clay to sculpt. Oh yes, I will explain after a few minutes of advertising. Have you ever felt tired of cleaning and curing resin prints? When water splashes, unpleasant resin smell. That's why Anycubic brings you Wash and Cure 3 Max, a 2-in-1 resin washer and dryer with a super large size. There are 4 pipes numbered from 1 to 4, corresponding to the numbers marked on the tanks. The first tank, numbered 1 and 3, is the cleaning solution tank. Usually 70 to 90 degree alcohol will be used. The tank numbered 2 on the lid will be the water tank. After filling the tank with water and connecting the pipes, the initial setup is almost complete. With a super large capacity of up to 14 liters, I don't even need to take the model off the printing platform. And with just 1 button, everything will be automated. First, the machine will use alcohol to wash the model, with a capacity of 5 liters of alcohol, along with powerful vortex technology to remove excess resin, even in the smallest, detailed gaps. After the alcohol is withdrawn from the machine and returned to the tank, the machine will continue to wash the model with water before switching to multi-directional UV drying mode to ensure the printed model is dried evenly, increasing durability and sharpness. Now I will test it with small prints to see how well the Anycubic Wash and Cure 3 Max's multi-directional whirlpool technology works. With just 1 button and after 15 minutes of automatic washing and drying, I was able to hold and feel my model really clean and dry. Remembering the time before Anycubic Wash and Cure 3 Max appeared in the workspace, how hard it was for me to work with oversized models. But now I can wash and dry 1 or even 2 oversized models at the same time. Anycubic Wash and Cure 3 Max. Optimize the process, enhance creativity. This is the 3D printed dragon wing blank after being processed and primed for use as a silicone mold. In mold-making techniques, the most important thing is to shape the clay to divide the mold into pieces, which directly affects the ease of demolding later. After shaping and flattening the clay surface, I will scrape small grooves, which are called mold edges, used to shape the two sides of the mold when closed to achieve high precision. Next, I will proceed to cover the entire surface of the model with silicone. In the first layer, I will use an air gun to blow out all the air bubbles on the surface of the model, but in the following layers, there is no need to do so anymore until the thickness of the silicone layer reaches the required level. I will cover it with a thin layer of cloth and then a final layer of silicone. I will do the same with the remaining details using this method until the entire silicone coating is completed. I will proceed to make the outer mold with plaster. This mold helps to shape the silicone mold structure most accurately. Basically, making a silicone mold is not complicated, but with each model with a different shape, we will need to consider choosing the location of the plastic pouring funnel and choosing a reasonable mold so that later when casting, removing the casting from the mold will be easier. This is probably the project I have done with the most cast parts so far, with over 20 cast parts made for the Blue-Eyed Dragon alone. By the time I finished my diorama, the number of cast parts was close to 30. And here are all the Blue-Eyes Ultimate Dragon body detail molds that I have made. And now I can cast the model with epoxy resin, and the resin I will use is produced by Let's Resin, one of the pioneers in the field of epoxy resin. Do you know why I choose epoxy resin to produce the model? Because epoxy resin has extremely high transparency and UV resistance. The product will be very durable and difficult to yellow. In addition, epoxy resin also has outstanding durability and flexibility, does not shrink when cast, and maintains the sharpness of the details. With the style of model making I pursue, the realistic style can only be achieved when using epoxy resin. Another extremely important point is that Let's Resin's epoxy resin contains very little VOC, friendly for both the maker and the user. With the outstanding advantages that epoxy resin brings, each model made from epoxy resin is not only beautiful when finished, but also retains its long-term aesthetic value as a true work of art. However, not all types of plastic are the same. Most figure models on the market today are produced with a type of plastic called polyester resin. This type of plastic has many disadvantages. It is very brittle and easy to crack. Transparent details quickly turn yellow and deteriorate quickly. If you are a resin model player, surely the thing that makes you most upset is that no matter how much you cherish your model, just a small impact can damage the model. Sometimes there are models that have a very unpleasant smell and are dangerous to users if inhaled for a long time. I hope that through this sharing, you will better understand epoxy resin and distinguish it from polyester resin. Next, I will cast the wings. For this special part, I will reinforce it with a steel core placed inside the mold before pouring epoxy resin. With this load-bearing structure, even if the wings are wide and thin, they will not warp during use. This is extremely important because epoxy is flexible and elastic. Without a steel core, after a period of use or when the ambient temperature increases, the risk of warping is very likely to occur. And I have prepared a vacuum chamber with extremely strong negative pressure suction, which helps to completely destroy air bubbles on the mold wall, making the molding absolutely perfect. After waiting 24 hours, I was able to remove the mold and see the result. It is really perfect. The surface is extremely smooth, without any small defects. Now I will clean up the excess burrs from the mold. It is very thin. Just need to lightly shave and use sandpaper to go over it, and it will be absolutely smooth. Next, I will remove the mold for all the remaining details. Let's see the result. I am really completely satisfied with this quality. Let's Resin has really produced a very high-quality epoxy resin product. Next, I will grind the dragon head with water sandpaper, because the head surface is quite shiny and tight, suggesting a sharp shape as if it was honed with steel. For this head, I use transparent plastic, because I will make LED lights for the eyes to glow. Let's wait and see the final result. And this is the diorama model that I have prepared for Blue-Eyes Ultimate Dragon. After 3D printing and painting, I will also make a mold to be able to cast this diorama model in one piece with epoxy resin. I want to share with you that this is the first professional commercial product in my career. I have been preparing for this project for a very long time. From the diorama design to the dragon sculpting from the beginning until now has lasted more than 1 year. I started this project in June 2024, and now I have completed the commercial production tool for this product. Actually, before releasing this video, I posted my working process on my media channels and received a lot of support from the audience. And I plan to take pre-orders this September. I am sure that each of my products that reaches customers has absolute quality and value, bringing an enjoyable experience to you. So I really hope to receive everyone's support. And my expected pre-order date will be September 28th. I will announce it on WoW Creators fan page and Instagram. Please contact me directly for advice and orders. Your support will be a great motivation for me to continue this artistic path. Thank you. I will mix 4 kilograms of epoxy resin to cast this diorama. With such a large amount of epoxy resin, it will only be safe to use Let's Resin's deep casting resin. With fast curing resins, the heat of 4 kilograms of reacting resin will be extremely large, which can completely cause cracking or yellowing. With the glue weight up to 4 kilograms in the closed mold, I could only breathe a sigh of relief when I removed the mold and saw the surface of the diorama that I had cast. It was really perfect. High transparency, no signs of yellowing. The sharp peaks of the effect were elastic and not afraid of breaking. This was really a great success for me. Now I will install LED lights on the bottom of the diorama, where the energy effects will be in direct contact with the lights. I want this diorama to glow in all the cracks, in the King of Games eye symbol, and in the ancient Egyptian symbols. And here is the LED circuit with the magnetic induction switch. I will attach 2 bulbs deep inside its eye sockets. It will light up when you use a magnet to bring it close to the circuit. The remaining joints I will also attach the magnets to the positions I have created. This will be an interesting experience for those who play with figure models. They will love to hear the sound of 2 magnets colliding with each other when assembling the model. In the main body, I install large magnets with enough suction to actively attract the body parts. I will install 2 front legs so that the model can stand on the diorama. Then I will quickly attach the remaining parts so that you can see the entire model after being cast with epoxy resin. Finally, I will paint a thin layer of grey paint on the entire surface of the model, with the purpose of finding small errors before finishing the painting. After using the gel and masking tape on the details that need to be illuminated on the diorama, I will continue with a coat of matte black primer to cover the entire surface for the metal details. I will need to apply a coat of clear paint to create a surface effect before applying the metallic color. After applying a coat of metallic color to the surface of the details I want, I will remove the masking tape and the gel layer blocking the paint in the cracks. I will create an oxidized effect on the metal surface with a bit of transparent jade green, combined with a dark metallic color to create shadow areas for the details to have more depth. For the black volcanic rock, I will use a brush to repaint the dark base color that was affected by the metallic color I applied before. After finishing the base layer, I will use a short-haired brush to lightly brush a layer of highlight on the surface of the rock. Adjust the light and dark areas to give the stone's surface depth, and then paint a layer of matte top coat over the entire surface. For the metal part, you will need to use a clear top coat. After painting the bottom base, masking tape to cover the whole thing, so that I can continue painting the stone and energy details above. I will show you the details of each color for each layer that I will paint to create the broken stone color effect. I hope that this video of mine can help those of you who are starting out on your painting journey to learn something and make your project easier. finish the diorama, I will paint the energy effects that I prepared in advance with a purple blue. I use clear color so that the light can penetrate easily. And now I will mount these energies on the diorama and turn on the lights to see the result of our work. Finally, it's time for the quintessence of the art of this diorama. I will guide you to paint the color of Blue-Eyes Ultimate Dragon. This is a paint color that looks simple, but is extremely difficult. Difficult from painting to filming, I encountered a real problem. This color I can compare to the sulking of girls. They are afraid that we know, but afraid that we don't know. They want us to know, but also want us not to know that they are sulking with us. Do you understand how I describe it? This dragon is called the Blue-Eyed White Dragon, the embodiment of light energy. The whole body is covered with a layer of pearly white mixed with metallic light. When it catches the light, it will flash a cold silver light. The most difficult color to express in Blue-Eyes Ultimate Dragon is the mysterious blue color, shimmering blue tint, appearing on the muscle edges, shadows or grooves between the scales, making the body seem to glow from within. I had to experiment with many options to get the color exactly as I imagined. Please follow each layer of color carefully as I will show you. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to leave a comment or send me a message for answers. I'm thinking about a new art form that is gradually becoming popular. Do you know the art of 3D drawing with a pen? There will be a pen that can spray plastic, and the user will draw the shapes they want. Then, with techniques such as cutting, grinding, and molding, a plastic model will be created. I find it quite interesting, and it is also similar to clay sculpture. I plan to spend time after this video to try my hand at this art form, and the work that I aim for will also be in the theme that you guys really like, which is dragon. I will make a dragon that can flap its wings in the air with an automatic winding system. Just hearing it sounds interesting, right? So let's take action now. Comment below this video that you support my idea, and don't forget to like and share the video to help me. Your small actions help me a lot. After finishing painting, I will use tweezers to remove the gel covering the dragon's eyes, where the LED lights inside glow, making the Blue-Eyes Dragon model more vivid than ever. I will quickly test the feel and sound of the magnet joint for you to hear. I have posted this short video on my fan page, and it really resonates like the sound it makes. Join me in assembling all the details of the Blue-Eyes Ultimate Dragon, and turn on the lights to admire the masterpiece that I spent more than a year working on. Thank you for listening to my story. It would be great if you leave comments, like, and share the video to many people. And don't forget that this is my first commercial product. I have produced goods to be able to meet many customers. Please support me by contacting the fan page and Instagram of Wow Creator for advice and ordering. Thank you very much, and see you again.